All right, here we are at 20 Wood Aspen. It's about 7:25 at night, so it's getting a little dark. I'm trying to rush through this. I am not going to be able to get measurements for you on the rooms right now, but I'll give you my best impressions. I wasn't able to get to the store to get batteries for my laser measure until it's starting to rain a little bit. I'm going to do my best. If it's not pouring, I'm going to try and go back down this trail. That might be what Sheila was talking about for you. You are right off drainage canal here, but I will tell you this property sits so high. If I can give you a little bit of perspective here, there's about a 10 to 12 foot grade here, and if you can tell how low this house is compared to your house, you are about as high. You can even see the road behind is maybe 2 or 3 feet below where you're sitting. So even with the canal here, I wouldn't worry about any flooding with the property. Very nice facade. I like the way that they've updated it with the white, with the brick and the black. I think it's very contemporary, looks very nice and clean. This window above the garage, keep that in mind. We'll talk about that in just a moment. Driveway looks like it was recently repaved. They've done a really nice job updating the house here. Obviously, we talked about getting the grass mowed and maybe getting the hedges all trimmed up, because they do intrude on the walk path a little bit there. And they're getting a little bit overgrown, but we can address that. You do have a little bit of sitting area out here. Enough for maybe a little bistro table and a chair, maybe 2. Window right here, I'll point that out in just a second as we come in the front door. Right off the front door, you have living space. I think this is technically formal dining. Kitchen, you have the guest quarters are over there, and then the primary is back over here. And right off the front door, we have the laundry room. So you have your washer and dryer. Hookups are in here. Nice little mud room. You even have a sink. That's the window right off the front door. I mean, nice space for the square footage. The fact that they put in the sink is a bonus. And then you have your 2-car garage. So you have your air handler, your water heater. AC's new. The water heater, I'm gonna have to double check on. There is an irrigation system hookup here. I have not been able to figure it out, or if I haven't seen any sprinkler heads. But again, it's raining and I'm kind of short on time, but I think there might be an irrigation system around. If not, you do have the hookup for it. There's also this here. I don't know if that's actually the water main. Normally they're closer to the street. I'm not exactly sure what this is. To me, this is part of an irrigation system, but again, I haven't seen any indicator of that. We do have the door right off the garage, leads to this is the side yard. So this right here is your property line coming down through here and to the telephone pole. I'd imagine I would get this fenced in, and I would bring it as far forward as you could, maybe around here, include that door. So again, you open up that door and you have access to the fenced in portion of the yard. I mean, leave a gate here, and that way at least you have access from the front as well, but at least it's formally fenced in. Now we get back into the garage, 2-car garage. I do have the stairs pulled down for a reason. I was looking up there, just trying to be thorough as we're going through all this. But really nice attic space. So I told you to remember that window over the garage. And look at all this storage. It basically covers the whole garage. It's already got all the plywood laid down, which is, I mean, that's a nice benefit to have. Back the other way. Not really a whole lot to see. Ducting and insulation. There is a light, which means you have electrical up here. You could extend it, put in some more LEDs and that sort of thing if you were so inclined, depending on your storage needs. All right, going back into the main house here. Again, we have the laundry room, mud room, whatever you would like to call it. We have the front door over here to the left. And we're going to move around to the right here. We have the formal seating area. Again, this is how it's staged. And when I say staged, this isn't a real TV. It's basically a picture on the wall of a TV, just so you know. So this is all just kind of staged. Obviously, you do whatever you like with the space. You do have a nice high ceiling, vaulted recess over there. You have the open roof line to the kitchen area back over there. And then this would be your, technically I would think this would be formal dining, but you could use it how you see fit. I'll kind of talk about that as we go through. But this is another good space. And again, I'll do my best to get you some measurements as soon as possible. You do have the chair railing here, which again, to me, indicates dining space. Nice, I think these are quartz stone countertops. You have bar seating over here if you like, and it opens up into the kitchen. Could have a little shelf storage, buffet stand over here, what have you. Depending on whether or not you do an island, maybe you leave that off and do a big island here. But it is a nice kitchen, well appointed. Nice glazed subway tiles on the backsplash. Stainless steel appliances, dual tone cabinetry. The cabinets are the soft close cabinets, so that's nice. And some good storage there. The only downside would be this is your pantry, basically like a linen closet. That's a little small, but again, if you put in some sort of cabinetry over here, you could definitely make it more usable. This is a pretty small bistro table here with 4 chairs. It's kind of a dine-in kitchen situation. I think you could probably put like a 6-person table, or at least a larger 4-person table, with the option of cramming in 6 in this space, which means if you were to do this as like your 6-person table, you could probably leave this as your another living space. But it might get a little tight over there for the dining. I think over here, if you were to make this another living space, because personally, I like to be able to see the TV from my kitchen, probably put a TV over here and have like the family room and the informal living space here, and then turn this into a formal living space and do not have the TV there. But you could obviously do what you like. This wall, I don't know how you would take it out, because on the other side of that are all your cabinets. So yeah, I don't think opening it up is gonna really be an option, but I think you do have some ways to kind of play with it. Another thing we'll talk about is the patio. Actually, let's go talk about it now, because I think it pertains. Especially when you're talking about like dining space. This is a pretty small patio as it sits right now. You could definitely do a table with 6 chairs, but that would be it for this as it sits right now. But I think you could push this out, this screen portion, bring it out a little bit more, maybe at about here or so, another 10 feet, and have a little tin roof or what have you. And you could have a nice seating area, a nice dining area, indoor, outdoor dining area. And you have access directly from the kitchen, the living, and the primary. We're going to get to the primary here in a minute. But I just wanted to address how maybe there's some different options as far as how to set up the dining spaces. We're going to do another loop back through just to kind of give you an idea. Again, if you want formal dining here, you could do that. I think it's just kind of a waste of space because of the way the chandelier lies. Your table would be over here. You'd end up with a lot of dead space over there. I think you're better using this as like a seating area. You get the kitchen over here. And again, all brand new appliances, stainless steel appliances, nice deep sink. You've got the farm style kitchen nozzle, sprayer, sink. I don't think the dishwasher's ever been used. I'm pretty sure all this stuff is brand new. Refrigerator looks really nice. You've got the side by side. I know I'm kind of jumping around all over the place on this, but lots to talk about, trying to be thorough. And then you do have access to the patio from the kitchen as well. So you could have, like I said, you push this out a little bit more, you could have a really nice dining entertainment space over here, and it's right off the kitchen. So, something to think about. You could even keep this as a small 4 and then put like a sidebar or buffet table or what have you over there and create more storage. You could have like your espresso and your air fryer and toaster oven, whatever, all that stuff over there. Now we move on to the guest wing of the house, right off of the kitchen. It is a split floor plan. Like I said, the master primary suite is back over there, but we have the guest rooms are both over here. Front guest room, this is looking towards the front of the house. Two nice big windows, which is unusual. Normally you only get one in the guest rooms, but this has a nice corner. It really utilizes the corner space. However, with that, you lose a little bit of closet space. So it is deep. You could consider it a walk-in because, I mean, I just walked into it. But it is pretty short. So that is the closet for this guest room. But nice big windows, lots of light, feels very, very spacious, and nice carpeting. And speaking of carpeting, let's talk about the flooring. Nice laminate flooring throughout, good carpeting in there. All the main living space is all going to be the laminate flooring, and then carpeting in the primary as well. But your main living space, including the laundry and kitchen and bathrooms, all have the laminate flooring. And then this is the guest bath. Again, you have the nice, this isn't the quartzite, but it is a, it's not Formica. I'm not sure what the, I'm not sure what the terminology is for this, but it is a nice solid countertop, brushed fixtures, nice vanity sink with the lights, and again we do have the soft close cabinetry. You've got subway tile lined shower here and tub in the guest. You have the efficiency toilet with 1 flush or 2 flush, depending on how much water you need to use. And then you've got your linen closet here. Another nice feature in the bathroom, guest bath, is you have a skylight. And we'll definitely have the inspector look closely at this. These are always something that needs a little extra look. It looks a little spotted and such, but I mean, this is actually probably one of the better ones that I've seen for a house of this age. They're hard to maintain, but that one looks good. Moving on through, we have guest room 2 looking towards the back of the house. Nice big window. Only one window on this one, but nice big one. Lets in lots of light looking towards the backyard. This has more of the traditional closet there. You do have a ceiling fan and pretty standard size here. And that is guest room 2. I will also point out right up here we have more attic access. There is no stair set on that. I'm not going to mess with it, but if you need more storage, there is potential for more up there. Coming back towards the kitchen, now I'm not making any promises. Might be tough considering the electrical work, but you might be able to put in a pocket door somewhere in here. But don't quote me on that. I'm not 100% sure. You do have some little architectural feature up here with the vaulted ceiling and recessed backing, so you have a little shelf up there. And then coming back around towards, again, front doors over here, laundry, formal, patio out there. This is the door to the primary. And it is a really nice sized primary. That fan is working wonders right now, and it is whisper quiet. Nice vaulted ceiling there. You've got the accent window over the bed. I think that really shows pretty well here. King size bed, so you can have nightstands on either side, still have some space to walk around. The only thing that I'm not sure about is where do you put the TV? So I guess maybe you put something over here and have the TV kind of catty corner. But you know, that's up to you. You have your access to the patio from the primary suite. So again, if you were to open this up a little bit more, you could have a table, another little bistro table, so you come out, have your morning coffee, some little settees, depending on how you want to use the space. But you do have access from the primary from there. Nice big window here, again, letting in lots of light. The accent window letting light. And this is your primary closet. Not huge, but it's pretty deep. And so you could have a his and her side, or you could have a her and her side, and then his would be in a dresser somewhere else. You have lighting in here. You do also have some of the equipment for the alarm system. It is not currently active, but if that is something that you're interested in, I think it's ADT, you can contact them. And then the ensuite. Coming to the ensuite bathroom. Very nice his and her sink with nice lighting. And this does have the same countertop as in the kitchen. It's quartzite. Again, we do have the soft close cabinets, and trying to be thorough, this one seems to be a little sticky. Not exactly sure on if it just needs some oil or if maybe the rails aren't lined up right, but everything else seems to be working just fine. Again, you've got the efficiency toilet and nice big walk-in shower with the privacy glass block. There is a little bit of a step to get into the shower, but not much, and it does have a curtain. You could probably put in a glass door or something like that if you so choose. That might look a little bit nicer, a little bit more contemporary, but I think this will work for what it is now. Nice tile all the way throughout as well, gives it a nice clean look. And then you do also have a linen closet. There is an extra shelf that goes here, and it's right there. It is still around, so you can do that easy enough. But I guess they needed to store something taller. Maybe they had their hamper in there. I don't know. But this is a good space. There is this little extra wall. Not sure what purpose it serves, but you know, keep the doors from hitting each other. I'm not really sure, but there is that. But again, we'll take another look from a different angle. Again, good size room. Like I say, you could maybe put like a chest of drawers right there, a little extra storage. Let's go take a look around the yard. If it's not raining too bad, it looks like it's slowed down a little bit. So here we are back in the backyard. Property line, I think, is pretty definitive with where the growth is. There's probably a couple of feet play there, but I think it goes kind of right through there. And again, with the hedges on the side, same sort of thing. Whether you want to pull them out and put in the fence in place of them, or if you want to keep them on the inside of the fence, you know, we'll have to figure all that out once we get the survey. I'm not exactly sure, you know, where they fall on the property line. I think they are on the property line, so you probably wouldn't be able to put the fence on the outside. I don't know, but we can figure that out. And then coming around the side of the house, I've been trying to pay attention to the soffits. Looks pretty good. Looks like everything's pretty well intact. Roof line looks good. You don't have gutters, but I mean, that's pretty common for a house of this style. You have a couple around the front entryway, but for most of the roof line, you do not have gutters. You do have the accent shutters. Again, I like the black contrast. We'll keep going around this way. And again, gutters just basically around the entryway here. Again, that's just to help keep water off you and your guests as you're coming and going. And that window again is the one that goes to the laundry room. Right here we have the dining room, and this one over here is the guest room. Again, that window up there, that's the one for the attic over the garage. It is nicely landscaped, it just needs a little bit of touch up. And then as we come around this side, again, keeping an eye on the soffits, it all looks good. We've got the door to the garage, nice new AC unit. This block is the shower for the primary suite, the glass block. That's the window that goes over the king bed. And as we come back down this line, looking back towards the house, again, that's the primary suite there. So just to kind of give you an idea of this side of the property, I mean, you can see this is 3 feet different grade from the neighbor. So if anybody's going to flood, you'll be the last. I'll never make any promises. But, and again, this is kind of the property line here. So, looks like there might be a little bit of play because normally they line up, and where that fence line is, there's maybe another foot or two here. So, I think all of that is on your side. My big question would be, how far back does it actually go? I'm going to guess if that post is it on that fence there, then moving across, I mean, some of this, like this point right here, is probably sticking out 10 to 12 feet from the property line. So if you really wanted to open it up, I kind of like it the way it is. Depends on how much yard space you need. If you're trying to put in a pool and you want every square foot, then clear it out. But I think it adds a certain, I don't know, je ne sais quoi ambiance. And again, so here's your hedge line coming through here. And that would be guest room number 2 right there. And this is your dine-in kitchen window there. So you do have some pavers out here. They look like they've been there for a little while. I think somebody maybe had a hammock. See a ring there and a ring here, and they are bolted in pretty tight. So if you wanted to hang a hammock, that'd be the space. And yeah, all in all, I think it's an absolutely gorgeous home. I think it's very, for lack of a better term, I'd like to say simple, but like elegance in its simplicity. It's very nicely done, but it seems very easy to maintain. It seems to have all the things that you may need as far as entertainment space and living space, and you've got the interior laundry room, which is always really nice to have. Nice architectural features, big high ceilings. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on the house. Stick around. I think I'm gonna go try and walk that path and see what else is back there. All right, so that is 20 Wood Aspen. All right, here we are back at part 2 of 20 Wood Aspen. A couple of things that I may not have touched on, one of them being the blinds on the door from the formal living, the living room where the fake TV was, to the patio. Those French doors, those blinds are all bent up and beat up. They're going to need to be replaced. And then there was something else that I was noticing. They do have some extra paint in the garage area there. So if you needed that, that was another option. So this looks like some sort of access road. I mean, it's got ruts going through it, so I don't know if somebody comes back here in a 4x4 or if it's like a city utility. Not exactly sure, but as we move on back through the path here, like I said, this is, as of right now, the way that it's zoned for flood purposes, I would think that this is undevelopable land, but I'm not 100% sure. It's not protected land. So I imagine if anybody wanted to, they could. There is some sort of box over here, electrical, and there's power lines coming back all the way back here. Then as we keep on moving, kind of opens up a little bit more. Does seem to be a little bit overgrown. So I don't think anybody drives back here on the regular. But it's a pretty good hike back here. I mean, there is a lot of space. So I don't know if developer would take it on or not. Like I said, this is probably the high point, and then it seems like it kind of slopes off on the edges. So if somebody were to try and develop this, they'd have to build all of that up. And I think just beyond all this is where the lakes lie. I think there's 2 of them. At least that's what I saw on satellite. Maybe I'm wrong. That looks like green space over there. I'm going to keep going this way though. Probably could have just driven the truck back here. I didn't know what yeah, maybe not. I think I see a big mud pit up there. Maybe that's about as far as I'll go then. It does look like there's a big clearing over here. Oh, it's not so bad. Well, that's some pretty tall grass. That is taller than I am. So I don't know if there is any sort of lake back here. I thought I saw one on the satellite view. I don't know if I'm going to be able to get through that without getting shoes stuck. And I did not bring the best footwear for this. So I might turn back. But this is kind of what you're looking at for the green space beyond the house. It does look like people have been back here though. And I see a little bit of standing water right here, which makes me think, like I said, this is all just marsh, which basically means standing water, undevelopable land. I'll try and say that 5 times fast, which is good for you because then you have this green space. And that house being at the end of the street, you know, kind of gives you a little bit of privacy there. And then it's still pretty well located as far as accessibility to like City of Palm Coast and then also Flagler Beach area. You're pretty close to US 1, you're pretty close to 95, kind of right in the middle of it all. And again, all this out there, I'm pretty sure that's the same thing. It might look like green grass growing, but you walk out there and it's just swampy, kind of mushy ground. So that's the trail beyond 20 Wood Aspen. I'm gonna head back to the truck. If you guys have any questions, you know what to do.